What's happening, everyone? It is Bitter Online, and in this video I'm going to give you my 5 tips and strategies on how you can ensure you do not get placed or can escape iron, bronze and silver ranks in the new Valorant rank mode. But if you do enjoy this video or find any of the tips useful, consider subscribing. I upload every single day at 3 PM GMT, and I have done for almost 2 years. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers, and all your support means the absolute world. Also, leave a comment down below. I make sure to reply to almost every single one of you. But without any further ado, let's jump straight into today's video. So before we jump straight into number 1, I'm just going to let you know something, and this is that the fact that your rank is determined by your individual performance, not your total wins and total losses. For example, it factors in the amount of headshots, how accurately you're shooting, how you communicate as well, so don't be toxic, KDA ratio, so you want to be getting way more kills than deaths, and also how many MVPs you get. So this is why this whole thing is going to be based on your individual performance and not so much on your teams. So let's just jump straight into it. So coming in straight into the video, we're going to go at number 1. And my number 1 tip for you when climbing the lower ranks in Valorant is when you're planting, play slow. And when you're defending, play even slower. I've seen this day in, day out, where people who are defending are overextending and pushing into the enemy's territory. This is something you want to really avoid doing, especially at low ranks. The reason being, the enemy and you are pushing into the same positions, meaning that the game isn't going to come down to your positioning or skill. It's just going to be an all-out shootout. And to be honest, it's aiming at a 50-50 if you're asking for that positioning. What you want to be doing is when you are attacking, you want to be playing slow. You do not want to be rushing into the enemy's territory. In fact, use this to your advantage and let the enemy who are supposed to be defending come to you. You have the time on your side, and trust me, use it to your advantage. This also brings me to when you're defending. When you are defending, do not push, just let them come to you, and as soon as you spot the enemy or you see some sort of movement such as a smoke, let your team know. The worst thing you can do is stay quiet or silent during the enemy's push. So this takes me into my number 2 point, and something that definitely does not happen in the iron, bronze and silver ranks, and that is eco. Believe me, when you're put in that position where you can no longer afford a bulldog, you can no longer afford a vandal or a phantom, you have to use a pistol. Do not push it so you have to use some other sort of gun. I've seen so many people purchase shotguns and just instead of just ecoing, it makes no sense. The longer you eco, the better chances you have. And I see this particularly in late rounds. If you are drawing, for example, 10-10, you want to be ecoing because the next round you could buy yourself an operator, which would give you such an advantage over the enemy who are also not ecoing. And also, the most important rounds to eco would be the early rounds, and this is because it gives you such a head start in the game, and also when you fall behind, it gives you a lot more movement room to kind of catch up in those extra rounds, because that loss doesn't necessarily mean an eco loss. You've only lost that round, so you can always use your eco to boost your chances at winning. Now, number 3 is don't follow your team's mistakes. I see this every single game, and myself also fall for this now and again. For example, if you are playing split and Sage is walling off an area, do not fall for the fact that your whole team are pushing around and rotating to behind the enemy line. Do not fall for your team's mistakes. Hold your positions and play for yourself. In low ranks, the one thing you need to realize is this is not a high level rank. Most people in low ranks won't be using communication. They do not take the game seriously, and they will troll you if they want to. In fact, I've seen people just go AFK right from the start. So it's not something that's going to be played seriously, and most people are there just to casually play and not climb. So as someone who wants to climb, do not follow your team. Play solo, especially in iron and bronze ranks. When you get to silver, communication starts to creep in a lot more than in those lower tier ranks. This brings me to my next point at number 4. Use time to your advantage. In Valorant, when you are defending, I've seen this, and as I mentioned in number one, people overextend and push into the enemy's territory. You have time on your side when you are defending. They have to plant. All you have to do is prevent them. So play time. And this is also playing the game slow. Don't push, let them come to you, and make sure you keep a close eye on the timer. Some tips that I have for you is that the enemy needs 4 seconds to plant the spike, and just know little things like that, because as soon as it drops below 4 seconds, the round is yours. Just do not let them plant before that 4 seconds is up. Because trust me, I've seen so many people win rounds and games because they are just patient and they play sensibly. Just don't get lost in the whole adrenaline of wanting to shoot your enemy. Just play it slow, and I can guarantee you'll be winning more games than you lose. This brings me into my fifth and final point, and that is carry the spike. So many times I see your teammates or my teammates just skip past the spike. Trust me, you want to be playing a solo game in the low ranks. So carry the spike because you have the plant. For example, if you're attacking and everyone goes with the spike to the opposite bomb site at A, you clear out B, and then you realise that they're all dead at A with the spike. You've lost that round. You will not come back from that. But if you have the spike and you split away from your team, then at least you give yourself that advantage where you can plant and the enemy has to come to you. Carrying the spike just gives you so much more control over your game dominance, and it is crucial to you winning those late games. Trust me, the amount of times I don't get spike and it just causes so many losses round after round because my team are just AFKing. It's frustrating as anything, and you want to avoid doing this.